Hey guys, looks like there's a couple of you all on right now. So I guess I'll go ahead and get started. A lot of you know I've been through, hey guys, a lot. I've gone through a lot in the past year and a half with my health, and I'm exhausted from all of this emotionally and physically. And I really just, at this point, I feel like this is the best way to talk about all of this. I'll go ahead and put a disclaimer in all of this right now and tell you all that this is very personal information. This is medical information. I'm going to show you an image of what's going on. So if you are sensitive to imaging and things like that, you might not want to watch this. But basically, and I've shown this on my personal page already, but this is what I'm dealing with. So my bladder is right here, and this we originally thought was fluid. Well, it turns out it's actually basically like mucus type gelatinous material that's in my system. And I've had, I think, 5 ultrasounds now. I've had 2 CT scans. I've had an MRI. I've been through a lot. I've had an outpatient surgery now. I'm actually going to be going through a second surgery, and then that's why I'm here. I want to actually explain to you all what's going on with that, because this is a really big deal for me. This is probably one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make in my life medically. This issue is a weird one because if you can't really tell anything from here, but with this being my bladder and everything, because of my medical history, my bladder is very complicated, for lack of a better word. I've had 2 surgeries to basically expand my bladder to help it have more capacity because it wasn't holding capacity. And the last time I went through the second surgery, I was about 13. And these were major surgeries. So right off the bat with what I'm having done is already complicated because of that. And so we have, like I said, I've had tons and tons of tests at this point. And basically I went in and I met with an oncologist, urologist. So he handles bladder and cancer, which is why I went to him, because I have a history of cancer and I have a complicated bladder history. So after the MRI, he looked at it this week, and he immediately jumped to taking my right ovary out. And if you know anything about the journey that I've had with thyroid cancer, you know that having kids has been a topic. It's been a source of emotional pain for me, for lack of a better word right now. It's been really difficult. There have been times where we've put this on hold to make sure that I'm being, taking care of myself medically. And, things got really serious basically the day that I got my 5-year cancer-free mark. So I feel like I'm essentially replacing one with the other at this point, which is really frustrating because I finally got to the 5-year mark. So like I said, we are dealing with something that is very, very difficult for me. I have actually, although the doctor wants me to have the right tube and the right ovary taken out because one has to go with the other, there's only like a 15% chance of this issue coming back. And since they haven't been able to say for sure that this is cancer, I said, absolutely not. You're not taking it unless my life is at stake or it's cancer. Those are my restrictions for this doctor. And it's not what he wants to do. He wants to just do what he wants to do, and I am not there. I'm not ready. This has been really, really hard. And I appreciate everyone checking in on me. But I had to make this decision for myself. And this is what I feel like I need to do right now. And I have not taken it lightly. I have considered all of my options. I know the pros and cons. And right now, the biggest issue and the biggest reason this doctor wants to go ahead and remove the right ovary and tube is because he doesn't want to go back in potentially a second time. Well, with only a 15% chance of having to go back through this again, I'm willing to take that chance. And so I fully know what my risk is right now. I know that I am complicated because of, the bladder and all of that. But I needed a couple of days to really make my decision. I've called, we talked to the doctor again today, and again, surgery scheduled for the 29th. I'm not gonna be in the hospital very long, which is the positive, because when we first started to really look at this issue, we thought every end of the spectrum. We thought, it could be 7 to 10 days. We really didn't know. And thankfully removing like an ovarian cyst, which that's another thing too. So in all of these tests that I've had done, only 2 of them have even shown what could be a cyst. So I've had probably 6 or 7 surgeries right now. And I'm sorry, but that's not enough for me to do something that can't be undone. And sorry, I've got my dog walking around right now. I just want you guys to know, like, I'm taking this very seriously. Yes, there is a part of me that knows that probably I should just listen to the doctor, but there's also a part of me that feels like I just got my life back from thyroid cancer, and I'm not ready to make that step. I'm not ready to make a permanent decision that I can't undo once it's done. And yes, I know that there are other ways to have a family, but I also know that you can have families. You can still have a baby if you only have one. I'm just not ready to mess with all of that. I will do it if my life needs it. I will do it if it's cancer. Beyond that, I have to do what's right for me. I hope that you all are, going to be supportive of this decision. This has been very, very hard. And honestly, the doctor, because it's just something that he wants to do and feels like is in my best interest, he made it sound as simple as, it would be to remove like a tonsil. And I'm 33, and it's not that simple for me. So the thing is, too, is I've had a lot of doctors involved at this point. I've had at least 4 doctors involved, and this is one of the only times they've even seen anything of concern. And also, keep in mind, even the doctor that is going to be doing surgery on me is talking about this like this is an elective surgery, because ultimately it is. I can live with pain, which I'm in a lot of and have been in a lot of for a while, or I can have the ovary taken out, or I can have him just address this fluid type situation, which again, okay, so I'm saying fluid, but that has also changed in the process as well. So it's actually more like gelatinous material. And there is a type of cyst or tumor that does exist that is mucus filled. And again, if you are not okay with medical, you probably don't want to sit here and listen to all of this, but that's what we're dealing with. I just was not ready to make a permanent decision that couldn't be undone. And I know you all love me and support me through all of this, but this is going to be a hard next couple of weeks, just leading into this and going into this next step. And quite honestly, I'm already tired of dealing with this. I've literally been dealing with this for a year and a half now, because when my pain started, I went and they said, "Oh, you have kidney stones." Well, then they dropped the ball and then didn't schedule me for stone removal. So then I lived in pain for a year with that. And that was January that I went in, and I was having the pain that I'm having now still. And I thought that it was still connected to the fact that I had stones. So I had all the stones removed that they could find in January. And I'm still in the same amount of pain, if not more. So I've been proactive. I have exhausted all of my options. I know the pros and the cons of everything that's coming. I know that there's still a chance that they may still have to take the right one, and I'm going to cross that bridge if I have to, but I'm not going to yet. The other issue is that this right side, it's higher than it's supposed to. It's like it's out of place. And my personal opinion on it is I'm not convinced that it's not because of the fluid or the material that's in my system. So that's another reason I decided not to make such a permanent decision to have the ovary taken out. This is really difficult. I'm scared. This is hard. I've always thought that I knew everything that I would probably. I kind of had the gist of the different types of surgeries I'd have to face as an adult with my disability, but no one prepares you for something like this. No one tells you that this is even a thing, and we don't really think that it's connected to the bladder, but the bladder is definitely making this a more difficult situation. So I'm following my gut. I have prayed about it. I have consulted people. I have talked with some of my family, and everyone supports me doing what I need to do. And that's where I'm at. So I don't know what else to say. I'm going to leave this open for a couple of minutes. If you guys maybe have any questions, at this point, I'm going to be an open book. I went back and forth on how much I was going to share. And honestly, this is one of those things that I wish I had been more prepared for. And so that's why I'm sharing, because I know if I'm struggling with this, that there may be other people that may struggle with this down the road. And there are different options. Again, like I said, this is technically an elective surgery right now. So I just really felt like I needed to share this. Plus, I just didn't want to have to go through explaining this over and over and over again, you guys. So I don't know if anybody's watching this through Facebook. Probably not. But yeah, I mean, that's the update, you guys. I'm freaked out. I'm scared. I don't want to go through surgery. This is the last thing that I want to have to deal with after everything else. But this is what needs to happen. And I basically have to go in there and give him my decision when I go in for pre-op. So I had to make some decisions this week before I get in, and that's my decision. Unless it's life-changing, unless it's cancer, I'm not removing the ovary. I just can't. I'm not okay with it. And I pray that I'm making the right decision. I don't know if I am, but this is what I feel like I needed to do right now. So I just ask that you all just be supportive of me. I really, really don't want to be bombarded right now with a bunch of, thank you, Sarah Williams, I don't really want to be bombarded with a bunch of, oh, try this or oh, try that. Okay. I'm not in a place to receive that right now. Um, I need surgery. I mean, that's where we're at. And if I ultimately end up having to face the second surgery later down the road, we don't even know. Then I might be more open to things like that. So right now I'm not. I'm just going to go through this and get through the 29th, and we'll go from there. I'll be in the hospital a couple of days. Not that big of a deal on that part. This doctor, again, he's really good. He just wants to make me feel better, and I know that. And there's a part of me that hopes that I can prove him wrong and that he doesn't have to go back in a second time. But I'll cross that bridge when I have to, if I have to. So that's the update. I think Wes, is there anything else you can think of? No? Okay. So anyway, this has been about 15, 16 minutes. So I'm going to end here. I was feeling really overwhelmed, and there have been so many moving parts to the situation. Like I said, this has been going on for a year and a half. So this was just what I felt like I needed to do. I know that this is a lot of personal information to share, but I also want people to know there shouldn't be shame in where you're at in your life, especially when it comes to, family or starting a family. So I hope that if you are someone that's watching this right now and, are being faced with something like this, I hope that you will do what's right for you and keep things into consideration that people say, but ultimately it's your decision. And that's what this comes down to for me, is this is my decision. This is the decision that I've decided to make. This is what feels right to me, and that's what I've got to do. So that being said, I love you all. Thank you for being here with me through this. I said surgery is the 29th. So I will be posting on Facebook as I get closer and things like that. But that's pretty much it. So I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. Bye.